call these dimes, and it starts with Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, 1 for 1 for 1 and 1. Patrick Mahomes went 1 for 1. For 1 yard and 1 touchdown. Beautiful back shoulder throw to Brownlee, though. Just when you get obviously a ton of time with Patrick Mahomes on the field, but just that throw, the placement of it, Brownlee's fully extended. Beautiful throwing catch by Patrick. Hopefully we see a lot of that in the future.
If Patrick Mahomes was an NBA player, he would miss the next 3 games.
This is unbelievable. Down to the bottom of the screen to Ted McMillan, an opportunity. And this ball is like watching a butterfly land with sore feet. I mean, just that throw. We saw Bryce do this a little bit last year. Guys didn't make plays. To see that immediately, first time out with Ted McMillan, their first-round pick out of Arizona, that wide receiver, that connection that throw was absolutely perfect over the shoulder. And then Jackson Dart. This was probably the highlight of the weekend by Jackson Dart, hanging in there, go route down the sideline to Humphrey, little Jordan Humphrey. Just the throw, hanging in there. He gets hit as he makes that throw, which is a strength of his coming out of Ole Miss. Beautiful down the field. Great catch by Humphrey as well. That throw is an absolute dime by Jackson.
Well, it was an absolute dart, which is a perfectly fitting with his name. And Mike T, it made you look good. You've been sitting in that seat for the last several weeks saying there's no reason the Giants shouldn't be considering starting him immediately. What did he show you on Saturday?
Exactly, that he's earned the right for more and hopefully could start, in my opinion, from opening day. And I know Dan agrees with this, but the underrated aspect of his game is his athleticism. Look, he has a great arm from the pocket. He had 1,900 yards rushing at Ole Miss with 12 rushing touchdowns. So when you can make plays from the pocket and supplement it with good athleticism, Greeny, from the day, the moment you called his game in Green Bay, I would have given him his playbook and said, you're the starter, and never look back. Exactly what Rex and I did with Mark Sanchez. I'd rather have growing pains in August and September and have a better Jackson start in December than an aging Russell Wilson.
Well, I still think we're getting Russell Wilson on opening day, and we'll see how long that holds up. It'll be dependent upon how Russell Wilson plays and how the team wins or doesn't win. But, I mean, Mike Tannenbaum, who's a bigger Giant fan right now than Mike Tannenbaum? I'm touting the defense, touting Jackson. He clearly loves the talent the Giants have.
And more importantly, talking to people in the building there, they love Jackson Dart.
And they love their talent.
There is a legitimate enthusiasm going on. I can feel it in the streets of the Giant fans. And you were making this point a little bit earlier. So now let's flesh it out a little about that division in which everyone says they can't compete.
Yeah, let me give everybody a little bit of hope for Giants fans, right? We have the Eagles now dealing with an injury to their Pro Bowl guard, Landon Dickerson. We have a drama unfolding in Dallas involving Micah Parsons and the front office when we don't know if and when a contract is going to get done. We've got a similar situation in Washington with Terry McLaurin, who can't get paid, and there's a disagreement over his value. So there are some important, significant issues surrounding all the other teams. The Giants inevitably will have some. They just don't have any yet right now. They have a defense with that defensive line that I think is going to be better than people realize. If Jackson Dart turns out to be the quarterback they believe and hope he is, why can't this team have a significantly better season than people are expecting? At this time last year, if I had said to you there's hope in Washington, you wouldn't have believed it. You would have dismissed it, and the Commanders wound up going to the NFC Championship game. And already there are some signs of encouragement in New York for the Giants that tell you that this has the chance to be a better season than people realize.
Adam, let's say that's all true. I still think the ceiling for them is third place. Because I think it's Philadelphia, Washington, and draw a line. Maybe they're better than Dallas, everything going on there. I think Jackson Dart has a chance to be good, but you're dealing with a superstar in Washington and Jaden Daniels and the defending champs in the Eagles.
Let's go back to the quarterback, because you have tape on Jackson Dart. Let's talk about him in particular.
And clips where you sit there and go, why he shouldn't be the guy opening day as their starting quarterback, because as much as I was encouraged, slower feet, and then also understanding, like, if you don't make a decision to throw a football, why? And then where would the ball have to go? And I think there's moments when you sit there and go, there's still that needed for that development for Jackson Dart. Bottom of the screen is going to have a corner out. it's man coverage. Once the back next to him releases and the linebacker follows him, you as the quarterback know, okay, I have man coverage. So you have to marry your feet, tying your feet up or tie your feet up to that route concept. And Jackson Dart, you're going to see him just play really fast here. Back is going to free release. Linebacker is going to match him. I want to watch Jackson Dart just be slower. But you're going to see him go 1, 2, 3, and he's already ready to throw the football. That receiver at the bottom of the screen's 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. You got to wait, and then he's going to climb the pocket. Ball's coming out right now. That top receiver's not ready for the football. It's a miss, but it's more because of the timing. This clip's a perfect example. You have a post up top and a deep cross at the bottom. Play fake. You want to throw the deep cross? I love that. But that defender in the top right corner is telling you, do not throw that ball. Okay, then throw the ball to the back. Why you don't throw the deep cross is because the reason why you should throw the ball to the back there. Instead, you take off running. And so this isn't. This is what you guys want. We want these guys to play. Yeah. So you learn from those mistakes. But I want to see Jackson Dart next week. Slower feet. Now, I'll tell everybody, I watched Sam Darnold struggle with this. I watched Bryce Young struggle with this. I watched Jordan Love. You have to give these guys time. It's not necessarily like Shedeur. You wanted to see Shedeur play faster. I think there's reasons to sit there and say, I want to see Jackson Dart just play a little bit slower.
But Dan, like you're giving the answers to the test there, which is the only way those things will get better is by playing them. And Brian Daboll has experience as a play caller, Greeny, where you can call the game differently in September than you do in November, and maybe it's a lot more runs early on. But the only way you're going to be able to do the things Dan's talking about is to put them out there.
Slower feet, you want a lot of things from these guys, but inevitably you could just watch them and see certain flashes. Jackson Dart flashed.
Oh, no
Shedeur
question
Sanders
about it.
flashed.
No question about it.
Right?
I just...
Tyler Shuck flashed.
Absolutely. I don't believe there's anything that Jackson Dart can or should do to become the starting quarterback in week 1. I think everything is about Russell Wilson more than Jackson
So you
Dart.
want to play an athletically aging Russell Wilson over a young...
They're going to.
I want to, if I'm Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen, I want to get off to a solid start to my season and let Jackson Dart develop.
And a statue of Russell Wilson's a way to do that?
All right, we'll see. They erected a statue to Tom Brady over the weekend. We'll see if he winds up getting any action as well. It's making their debuts. Let's do Dan's debuts with Orlovsky. Looking at some quarterbacks in preseason week 1. J.J. McCarthy, his first action since last preseason. What did you see?
I liked his ability to get through progressions, that rail route where he hits that shallow cross, really good. I also love the fact that under center, play action, strong in the pocket when it's a little muddy around his feet. You can see the arm strength there, and then the ability to be athletic, use his legs when it's necessary. Not a big body of work. I do think you want to see the development on some touch throws and not having to drive and rip everything. You have an absolute hand cannon. A little bit of touch will help you be a little bit more accurate in some of those tight window downfield throws.
Bear in mind, he missed all of last year after the preseason, so he hasn't played in a game in a very long time. So there's the rust along with the debut. What are your thoughts?
When you come off a knee injury like that, Greeny, it's from the waist down. He moved outstanding. There was no rust whatsoever from an athleticism standpoint, so there's a lot to build on. Dan's point, he has all the measurables and the arm strength. I was just wanting to make sure the movement looked good and it looked great. And again, Kevin O'Connell's around this guy every